the past few weeks, mine have been like, I've seen so many signs I never did in my life before, ever. Now I'm like, oh, and I'm willing to like be like, okay, well now go do this because this is the here. So I'm following a path because
Mm-hmm.
I'm open to receiving the things.
Yes.
My logical or my monkey mind wants to be like, fuck no, we're not. That's not. No, that's not. You know, you're not need to be doing that. That's so woo woo. But the
Yeah.
inner part, like my spirit or whatever, my soul, that's what feels like okay when you listen, when you learn from somebody. And it's like I think I want to say this very clearly. It's not like I'm idolizing in a sense of like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, this is like a god to me. No, this is a person that had a journey or has had experiences very similar to both of us. Human experiences, has had, talks about the flaws, talks about the
Mm-hmm.
mistakes and all of that, and showing people how what it looks like, what you can do to actually, heal.
Welcome back to the Delulu Magic Podcast. I'm Paola,
And I'm Gabby.
and we're so excited to have you guys here today because last week we had Danny Morell on the podcast. And honestly, it's been 8 days.
Feels like a year.
It does
Like,
because then we
just
came and it was
yeah,
got
yeah, we
crazy.
have not stopped. Yes, like we didn't get to sit, and we haven't seen each other either.
Yeah,
So we came back, and then it was just like go back, back to our 9 to 5.
to the real world.
Yes, this is why we look the way we do sometimes. Yeah, so not, and we've talked a little bit, but it's about other stuff and trying
Hmm.
to logistics of everything else in life.
Yes.
And then here we are. Today's our drop day for our episode, so we are recording on the same day.
Have you had a chance to like really sit and process post show?
Post show, I talked to our producer this morning, and I told her I had nerves again, like I did last week, because I was like, oh, it's gonna be like dropped, and I know even for ourselves, because we haven't watched it, so we're gonna be doing that today together here in the studio.
Yeah.
And thinking of it that we went and did that, it was like the craziest. What, 18 hours, 12, 14 hours?
Yeah.
Because no, we 24 because we left around 2, came back around 2. Yeah, and we made it happen. Like between
We
our
stayed to
momager,
Lulu
we
and made it
stayed. I mean, we
happen.
made it happen. Yes, and it's just mind blowing, the whole process. Let's give me a recap.
Let's give you a
Give
recap.
me a recap.
For those of you who
You-
are new to the show,
Yes.
we've been best friends for 30 years. We started Delulu Magic. I mean, at the end of December
January.
2024, we were
Yeah.
talking about it and we set the name and finally dropped our first episode or recorded our
In
first
February.
episode in February of
So
this year.
scared.
Yeah.
So
So
didn't know how to talk.
stutter. Yeah, it was crazy. And we went to, Gabby got us tickets to
Mhm.
the Make Money Easy show or tour with Lewis Howes and Danny Morell. So we go. It was magnificent. I got to ask a question. And I remember being there and I literally looked at Gabby and I was just
Yeah.
like, one day. But I was like, we're going to be interviewing Danny on that stage. I was like, we're going to be here. I don't know when. I don't know how. Right. And I'm thinking
Yes.
maybe years later, like
Yeah.
this is something that we wanted to continue doing. And literally 9 months later, like a baby being born.
It was the baby we've carried this baby, the podcast.
We put it out there. We were Delulu and we just kept saying it and it manifested. And I'm telling you, being Delulu works. If you stick with it, if you I visualized it. I had the feelings. I would get like excited thinking about it every
Yes.
so often. It wasn't
Yeah.
like I was visualizing every day, but
But you were creating it, like
yeah,
with your mind.
that's
So
right.
that to me, right? Both of us have. Paula introduced me to his podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You shared,
a
right?
podcast, yeah.
Last year, because we've been on this journey, this spiritual, I'll call it journey. It's always funny to me that we kind of align on what we're doing, right? For our
Mhm.
lives. So we both last year did the meditating, as we've talked before. Obviously, I've been in therapy for a very long time. And after meditation, I think you would send me, we always send back and forth podcasts, and you introduced me to his podcast. And you said that it really resonated a
Yeah.
lot of what he would talk about. And I remember the first few ones, I was like, oh, this is another level. Like I don't think I'm ready to understand most of it, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then I took the time to actually listen, and then I started following him on Instagram, and obviously, from clips you learn a little, then you go. I like to
Mm-hmm.
go and learn a little more, and hit a lot of deep little wounds in me. So same. It was like I would tell you, we would have the conversation. What would you ask if you got the opportunity? Like this was our like
Yeah.
a hypothetical things that could happen in our lives, and it actually happened.
Yeah.
Like when it was time to go, we're like, I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna have to talk. And then of course we cried, so be prepared for that.
Yeah. It was a lot of
Yes.
emotions, and I feel like, I mean, I think for me, when I first heard Danny, it was the journey, and I feel it was like very similar to the journey I'd had. You go out, you don't feel like you're enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of whatever happened to you when you were a child. You think that money's gonna solve everything in your life, right? I
Mm-hmm.
remember it's thinking, we're gonna make so much that it doesn't even matter. Like everyone's gonna be like good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yes.
you make all the money and you don't realize all these money wounds or the relationship you had. And so when he talks about his journey and like stepping away, and being okay with like losing whatever he had to lose just to be more in alignment with himself
Mm-hmm.
and finding himself. And I felt like I was very much on that same journey. So when he speaks, it's like my soul, like even though I didn't understand everything, my soul felt that it was true,
Yeah.
or even like the
And it
part
was.
about religion,
Yes.
right? And
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, definitely in alignment with that. And some of the stuff that he would say was definitely like I never even thought about it that way, and even had a hard time like processing. But at the end of the day, it really made sense to me. I just had to like almost remove some of my old beliefs that were like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
put in
Of
by
course.
religion and
Yes.
by
Yeah.
family being
Yes.
like, oh, that's
Yeah.
blasphemous, that's
Yeah.
bad. So to me, that was just like an epic,
Do you feel
amazing
that
thing.
when you started listening and like learning through the podcast and all the other content, do you feel that you saw like yourself opening up to more? Like there was your kind of your own journey was towards healing. Like
Yes.
there was more of that, you were like, okay, this is something that's not, I'm not stuck in this way forever.
Mm-hmm.
There's obviously a path for me.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because,
definitely.
yeah,
For sure. And
that's what I feel like. And for me, I'm going to say that the past few weeks, mine have been like, I've seen so many signs I never did in my life before, ever. Now I'm like, oh, and I'm willing to like be like, okay, well now go do this because this is the here. So I'm following a path because
mm-hmm.
I'm open. I'm open to receiving the things.
Yes.
My logical or my monkey mind wants to be like, fuck no, we're not. That's not. No, that's not. You're not need to be doing that. That's so woo woo. But the
Yeah.
inner part, like my spirit or whatever, my soul, that's what feels like okay when you listen, when you learn from somebody. And it's like I think I want to say this very clearly. It's not like I'm idolizing in a sense of like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, this is like a god to me. No, this is a person that had a journey or has had experiences very similar to both of us. Human experiences, has had talks about the flaws, talks about the
Mm-hmm.
mistakes and all of that, and showing people what it looks like, what you can do to actually, heal, right?
Yes.
So there's a lot of us out there, and I think I consider myself a big empath, but I've turned into very like this year. I kind of was like, I'm done with that shit,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm finding like, no, that doesn't make me happy either. So learn like I'm on a learning curve.
Yeah.
So this hit the sweet spot because
Same.
I was wanting to go into my like fuck the world and I don't need anybody and I got this.
I saved myself.
Yes, I
Save
love that.
myself.
I love being the fucking villain and the hero. It doesn't make you happy, but I promise you can get out of there.
No, but I'm glad that you said that. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I don't really idolize anybody, but I've never been that person that has like been really like, oh, I really want to meet this person. I can appreciate like Brene Brown or
Mm-hmm.
him, like because I feel like they're authentic, and it makes me feel better. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, when I hear about other people what they've been through, right,
Mm-hmm.
and their struggle,
Yes.
and the fact that life is not linear, right, as we kind of
Mm-hmm.
think like, oh, I'm just going to get more successful or happier as the time comes. Like
Mm-hmm.
it is, there is a lot of waves to life, and I want to continue growing. And I feel like if people have gone through that and can share that knowledge, and Brene Brown is going to be next
Yes.
one of these
yes.
podcast one day.
She is my dream.
I know
We
she's
talk.
your
I
dream.
talk about Paul. I wish I could have gone to college just to be sitting in her classes.
I know.
Just that whole thing. Just because for me, that
I'm gonna
I
go walk
found a
around U
lot
of
of
H.
listening to her when I found her years ago. It was a ton of that I felt like so understood. I was like, okay, this book. I mean, this person, this author, this researcher, because this is what she does, like research specifically, like human stuff,
Hmm.
is saying so. And I'm like, okay, well,
I'm not crazy.
well, yeah, not the
That's how I
crazy.
felt.
And then it's like I'm not alone, and there's like people that understand. So now that we're here in this role that you and I have taken here, and I feel we came to do this almost like now it's been like to share. We're not trying, I don't know, teach, whatever, but just making people not feel alone and knowing that, hey,
Hmm.
there is stuff, and we're all connected. Like you always talk about being connected,
Yeah.
and just being shown that you can be connected. Like, I mean, how crazy is the experience that we just had and did,
Hmm.
through.
And that you can create like
Yeah.
your best life, like, and it comes from your thoughts. Everything is like stems from a thought,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I
Mm-hmm.
could have been like, oh God, that'd be great, but God, that'll never happen. Or I would,
Mm-hmm.
but why not just be delusional? I'd rather be delusional, and if
Of
it
course.
happens, fantastic. And I do feel like we attract it.
But you got to do the stuff. It ain't just in your head and, oh, here.
Yes.
You have to go do things. Like, we obviously put ourselves out here in the most vulnerable way and talked about it, and I have grown very
Yeah.
comfortable being who we are, or trying
Hmm.
to be as authentic as we can be here. So that caused the chain of how did we get here
I
to the recording?
to the
Tell the record, remind everybody.
You always talking about remind, and I'm like, I don't.
Well, when we recorded, how do we get the meeting? Because we got
Oh,
reposted.
because we
That
got
comment you
reposted.
made
Yeah. So when
from you
our
being
social
yourself.
media person, because I'll be delusional. Our social media oh, we had a podcast where I was talking about
Yes.
Danny, and I
Yeah.
was like, am I petty? But
Yeah.
I like it when people
Petty.
talk about the things that they've gone through. I like it. Just helps me feel like, again, less
Yes.
alone as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they reposted that. And so then our social media manager, because she knew we'd be excited, 'cause we get
Yes.
excited about
Everything.
everything. I'd
Yeah.
rather act like a kid and kind of just have that joy versus the person I used to be like, oh, okay, that's cool, but oh, So I got super excited. We're being, she's like recording our reaction. And I was like, oh, we're putting it out there. We're so happy that Danny's on our, the schedule to be on our podcast, or I'm just going to throw it out there. Let's be Delulu. And I guess they saw that and just said, hey, well, let's
Go
make it
ahead.
happen. Literally, I cried. I don't really cry for happy
Mhm.
stuff like often. I think I was just overwhelmed.
Yes,
Like,
but it was a lot that week though. The past 2 weeks, I'm sorry,
uh,
have just been insane.
it was
No,
more of a, what
what?
is happening?
How?
And I feel like I've said that a lot this year. Like, I don't know, like in a good way though,
Yes.
but
Yes.
it's still shocking. And I'm like, am I in a dream? Like a dream that sometimes feels so real. And I'm like, but don't wake me up.
Just keep me here.
Just keep me until like we
Yes.
actually do the
Yeah.
podcast with the person. And so that's how, but all these little things, and we could have also been like, no, or we're too scared, or
Mhm,
we're not
mhm.
ready.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which we kind of do. I was like, we need like a month to prep because we need questions. And literally, it probably happened within a week.
Less
I
than.
felt like I needed more time to
I
prep
know, but it was
because
gonna
I'm too
be
much of a
yes,
planner.
yes,
You
yes.
too?
It was gonna be no. I just was like I don't have time to plan out. I have whatever window we can make it work. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna figure it out, and
Yeah.
we figured it out, and
Yeah.
it worked out, and we got on the road, and we had a fabulous time.
And it was a super fun trip. We got to take our momager,
Yes,
right?
and
Which is
got to
great. It
have
was like our first little staycation
yes, a slumber
together.
party, and we had it was great. We had our like pre podcast therapy, and then Paula and I had like massive nerves and like almost like border on panic. I don't know what it was, because I think that we're both very like secure, like strong kind of people that we can handle. I don't think we're easily intimidated anymore. Yeah, I don't know, like
Yeah.
not intimidated. I don't know if that's the right word, but I think like at our age we're kind of like, okay, we're gonna do what we need to do.
Yeah.
But that day was very funny. That we were just like all over the place. We looked like somebody
Random
had.
cats. Well, I think also because when you have somebody that has done podcasts or this type of thing, you want to ask the right
Of
questions.
course.
I don't know. For me, I'm like, I think that's also in my head. Something
Yeah.
I've always like I'm gonna be the most professional, like the most awesomest.
Yes.
Like I want to do a good job.
What's your gold star at the end?
And how's it been after? Because for me, I felt it was really weird. So you would think I'm on this super high, right? And which I
Mhm.
was. But I also felt like this because it's been such a crazy week, like
Mm-hmm.
post that day.
Mm-hmm.
Got back, that was like amazing. Imagine being on a vacation and then like coming back and you're like trying to juggle 5 different jobs because I'm
Mm-hmm.
selling a house, doing just a bunch of like the
Mm-hmm.
regular job, the
Mm-hmm.
kids, just
Mm-hmm.
everything. And I feel like I've had so many more emotions.
Of
And
course.
I don't know if it's because
They have to come out.
I don't know, but like where I'm just randomly and I'll think of old stuff. And maybe it's because I allow myself, which to feel it
Mm-hmm.
and with Delulu Magic and on my healing journey, because we talk a lot about like reflecting. Before I used to just suppress everything. And I thought that I had reflected so much on things that I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
great, I've accepted and I've reflected so much that it doesn't stir as much up in me. But
Mm-hmm.
that was not true because because I would have these like random thoughts and maybe things that he had said or just for whatever reason. And it's like my eyes would get teary and I'd want to like cry. But I think at the same token, like I can appreciate that. And I was like, I'll just have to let my body is trying to tell me something. My
Mm-hmm.
body's trying to maybe say, hey, maybe that thing
Mm-hmm.
isn't as healed as you thought it
Mm-hmm.
was, you know?
Yeah.
Which,
Oh, same.
so,
Oh,
yeah,
same. I got
okay.
hit with like massive triggers like over like the weekend, and I mean, it felt like Sunday. I was like, so I have TMJ. I get, I think I talked about it before. I don't even remember. Y'all were probably around for that. I get Botox usually in my neck. I also have a scar from brain surgery behind my ear. So that scar from my TMJ, my stress level will kind of start throbbing when it's too much for my body. So that came on like very quickly. And my God, I had a conversation with my husband, and it was like I started crying. I was like, I just, and then, and then I was like, okay. And then I have had like these dreams. And today I was driving and I was like, okay, God, because I love to learn all the time. Today I was like, okay, we're going to turn the fucking podcast off. Sorry, I love us, but I'm going to turn the music off. I'm going to just, what is it that F is going on? Like, what happened? What did I stir
Yeah.
up? Because I was riding high and happy, remember? It was
Yes.
and I'm okay with it because I realize, I said tonight when I go to bed, because it's 11:11 and now I'm a super woo woo lady, I said, God, we're going to talk and you're going to give me whatever I need to follow, whatever
Mm,
signs for some more clarity and whatever else I need. And I realized when I did my little talk, I was like, oh, I know. We're going somewhere next week. And I'm meant to go there to do
mhm.
this for myself. Like this is, I don't know if it's my final step. I don't think I'll ever, and I'm good with not ever being healed, guys, because it's fucking being human.
Yeah.
But I took it as like I sat right now. I was outside the studio and I was like, okay, cool. This is what's next. I'm
Yeah.
not, and I'm gonna be okay crying, and I'm gonna be okay, having whatever it is because I've tried this part. I've tried to really, my love of control has been like, I got this and I'm going to say fuck it and I'm not going to deal with it. And
Hmm.
again, that's not what we're supposed to be doing. Like it has to come out. Like,
Yes.
and I think it's
We're
all these things
prepping.
happening and showing us like, this is why,
Yeah.
because we're headed to that. Like, right. Like, I mean, and I'm so excited to be on the other side. I told you.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
And so what we're headed to is, so Danny, it's funny when you guys see the
he
episode.
told he told me first, not you. I was like, not me. I don't think I need. I'm being good.
I'm good. I'm healed. What are you talking about? And he was like, but I think he told both of us, like, basically that we need to go to Awaken, which is basically a 3-day seminar retreat that he does that I have personally been wanting to go to. I've been watching it for
You've
like a
talked
year and
about
a
it,
half,
but you've told me no. You've told me like over 2 years ago
probably.
because you were like, yes, when I can and I want to go, and you would show it to me. So
Yeah.
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 But I was always like, it's too far. They're never like local. And then I'm like, how's anybody gonna be there for 3 days and like crying and whatever you're gonna go through? Like
You're
it
like, who
sounded
wants to
like
do that?
torture.
Yeah, who wants to do that? And it's far, Austin. We're
Yes.
in Houston.
No, no, but had he had some in Austin?
Yeah.
Oh, because I only saw whenever they were out of the country, and I was always
Oh,
like,
okay.
oh my gosh, that's a lot of commitment to,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
go heal. I'm just kidding.
Um, yeah, and so we're gonna go, and I'm so excited that
I
we
know.
five like
Do,
one time.
doing it together. So is you know what? What else? Why wouldn't we?
Maybe our bodies are prepping for that. Maybe like
Yes.
just the energy of me being like being
Well, letting it be here.
to be okay with
Yeah.
the crying and all and the emotion.
Well, you told me like I'm not comfortable. You're like I'm not comfortable. I even talked about I'm gonna say the word probably maybe doing shrooms before I go because I don't know how comfortable my body will be with releasing. I've never had to. I've been in therapy. I sat and cried, and I fucking hate those days. Like I remember I get so
Yeah.
mad. Not mad, but it's healing. Whatever. I feel better. But I every time I'm like, are you serious? I came in here
All good.
ready to
With my
just
little
talk about
coffee.
three topics, and then you put me in the little kid room, and it was not
Yeah.
pleasant.
Well,
And then
think
it
of
takes me
me.
like 24 hours to recover from that.
It's so exhausting. I
Yeah.
feel like it's gonna be an
So we're
exhausting
we're
weekend, but it's
taking an extra day. We're gonna do it, and we're staying extra. We're doing a little bit of window to give ourselves recovery, and I think it's gonna be great. And I'm so excited for us to watch this episode and then
yes.
continue sharing with everybody again because I think at the end of the day, that's what we're both trying to do.
Yeah, for sure. And so we'll let you guys know how Awaken goes, and hopefully enjoy the Danny episode as well. I don't know what we said, so we
We were delirious with whatever was happening to our bodies and our minds,
happiness. Yes.
but we were very vulnerable. So I'll give
Yes.
us kudos to that.
Aw.
So anyway,
Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and like, please, and share if you like the episode.
and stay Delulu.
And make it happen.
See you next time.